I'm gonna keep it like that. Cool, cool. All right. Well, just wanted to take some time and just hear your story, and I have a few questions, but I think most of them will come from just hearing your story, and just wanted to be able to get the full gist of how you have been able to accomplish what you've accomplished being in MyEcon. And I think it's a absolutely awesome story to hear. I don't know the full story, but I hear I hear from years, 11 years to a million. So we're very definitely know you have some great nuggets to share now on how you were able to accomplish that. So just to start it off, this is Andre Simpson here in Tampa, Florida, with Young Wealth Builders, meeting with Miss Clarissa Pace out of Arkansas, correct?
Yes,
all
that's
right.
correct. Monticello, Arkansas.
Monticello, Arkansas. And she's going to share with us her story, her awesome story. And then we'll just take it from there. So if you don't mind, just go ahead and just start from where you want to, and just let us know the journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go way back before, okay? Because I've actually been with the concept with Ivy for 14 years.
Okay.
Before MyEcon, I was in Maxis, okay, with them.
Okay.
And we started working from there. So when I enrolled in Maxis, I had no earthly idea that it was going to be the income shifting, the concept was going to go like it was. In what I was looking for was an opportunity to just make extra money. That's it. I wasn't really thinking wealth. My husband was an educator. He wasn't a principal then, and then I was a full-time administrative assistant. And I'm not sure if we had all the kids. I think we had all of 5 grandchildren. So I was looking for a way. He's a coach, and I was actually just looking for a way to find extra income or income to replace the income that I was making on my job, so that I could come home and go full time with him and the coaching, and I knew our children would be in that. So I got more than I actually bargained for. Totally. You know, I was excited to begin with. I thought, when we started with the product sales, and then we would go to meetings, and Ivy would talk to us about wealth. But it's still probably like most people, the whole wealth concept had not kicked in. I was mentally thinking about making money. I just want to make money, and I just want to create enough that I could come off my job. At that point, I was making $45,000 a year as an administrative assistant. So I'm like, I just need to come home. And so I started making money. I got my first $15 check, and I was excited about that because I did it myself. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's Dean Martin or something. I did it my way. I did it. So that carried a lot of gratitude and excitement for me that I began to produce income all by myself, a piece of paper. And I'm interjecting this for any of the people who are listening, who always have to have people hold their hands, to move it forward. I had a gentleman that enrolled me. He was just about enrollment. I got a packet in the mail. I read the packet. I went to the internet. I started doing everything. I followed the instructions, and I started making money. I had nobody that really took up the time with me to do anything, okay? And it wasn't bad. I didn't even think they should. And so what happened was we flipped the system over to MyEcon. And so by this point, I had met a gentleman by the name of Edward Townsend, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with him now. He's my upline, and I'm 5th generation in the company from Ivy Stokes, okay? His downline, that's what I'm in.
Okay.
And so I met Mr. Townsend and Ivy, and they talked to me about this new concept that was going to have 10 years down the road, what America was going to be like, what we need to expect. And me, I'm green. I'm like, whatever you say, because it's working for me. I was making money, but I really didn't know what I was about to make money off of, the things like the W-4 and so forth. So then I just ventured to follow. I just became a good follower. So whatever they shared with me to do, I would position myself to do that. And so my husband and I re-enrolled when the system flipped over and we went MyEcon. Well, of course, it was an adjustment to understand what it was that they wanted to do. And then, can you believe this? Then I kind of started getting a little skeptic. I wasn't skeptic. I just wanted to get confirmation. Because we're going to run into people who always want to get confirmation, right?
Right.
And so I asked an accountant about the W-4, and I asked them about, and this accountant was my leader, the church leader.
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked him about the W-4, and I asked him about the deductions. And his response was, I would move with caution. So scared the daylights out of me.
Right.
You know, so move with caution. You know, he didn't say, let me show you how that's done.
Right.
He said, I would move with caution.
Yeah.
So it took me 3 years. I didn't even change my W-4. I was like, well, he said move with caution. I think in most people's case, I just didn't move. So I didn't understand. I'm at meetings. I'm like, I don't understand. And I think I went ahead on that 3rd year, and my upline, of course, is checking on everything that I'm putting in place, and I'm still making money. Now, by this point, I was making money off of products still, but I wasn't recruiting either. I wasn't sharing the information. My life was changing. We changed from one neighborhood to the next neighborhood. We changed our vehicles. I mean, we were smiling better, you know, all kind of stuff was happening. And I didn't realize, I didn't never talk about the law of attraction then. So people just began to ask, what are you doing? What are you doing? So that gave me the bravery to say, oh, well, here's what I'm doing, you know, and here's what's making a difference. So all along, everything, my mind is being empowered, is making a difference. And then I go and I change the W-4. And when I changed the W-4, I said, okay, I told my husband, whose name is Jerome, I said, we need to take a look at this W-4 and see what's going on. Because mind you, I had gotten a tax return for over $10,000. So I'm thinking, my mom would say something else, but I'm in high cotton. I feel like that. I'm in high cotton because I got $10,000 tax return.
Wow.
Come to find out, I'm overpaying the government. Terribly so. So we go and change that W-4, and I find out that I'm losing $800 a month. Okay. Significantly, it changed us because we took a look at our W-4. We changed that, and we increased our cash flow by $800 a month. Gotcha. We turned around, and other things that were being taught to us about not being insurance poor. We were started to take a look at all of our insurance. We increased our cash flow by $200 on the insurance policies. Okay. Because it was like, then we started watching things. I started watching things like telephone, anything I could watch, because now we're talking more about cash flow increase than making money. So I'm starting to take a look at everything that Jerome and I are doing so that we can turn around and make an increase. And so that was history for us. And over those years, we were able to actually recover $6,000 savings in our taxes. At the time, I would say that we did have our children on our taxes, and a lot of people were excited because they get the earned income credit, child tax credit. But I started to take a different look, like these children are going to leave us. So as one grows up, although I didn't particularly need all the deductions that I was then began to practice and input. Matter of fact, y'all got it easy. We didn't have any software. I wish I had prepared for it. I'd show you the big old book, because I still got the big book of paperwork, because we had paper. We had the DOE. We had the month MOE. We were writing down and stapling receipts and then summarizing this stuff and taking it to a tax preparer. Oh my God. But I decided that it was worth it all, because then I began to, not only did I increase our cash flow annually by $12,000, it increased by $6,000. Eventually, it would increase by $9,000 because of the things that we were saving, paying off debt. We paid off, never had a large amount of debt, but we did manage to pay off $45,000 in debt, you know, right away. Wow. So it was just amazing. And so after those 3 years, and people are attracted to what's going on. I guess I'm looking different. I started seeing people, oh, we got the Daily Ultimate. I'm taking it. People saying, oh, you're looking so young. So I'm saying the whole concept of MyEcon works. I'm like, I'm looking young. So I look at old before. But they just started seeing changes in us and then asking me, can I enroll with you? Can I come in business with you? So I created, off of working the entire business, I created on a part-time basis, $500 a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, and then it would fluctuate depending, but then we were enrolling people for like $399.99,
Wow.
you know?
Wow.
And so, yeah. Wow. So we were making about, average of $500, no less than $500 a week. And then we came to the point to where I had gone through 3 downsizing on my job, that I was prepared, you know, and I started seeing that. And I think the straw that broke the camel's back was my manager was making about $400,000 a year.
Wow.
I'm doing his work and I'm making $45,000.
Wow.
Okay, that's about 10% of his income.
Right.
And then I walk in his office. I was a plant manager for a wood company. And I walk in his office and he starts to tell me to make transactions for his child going to college. And he had cash to pay for college. And he said, Clarissa, the college does not understand. I don't want FAFSA. I don't want financial aid. I'm paying cash. So I'm going, okay, I'm hearing these millionaires talk about this guy, and this don't seem right. And then he wanted to move some money over from Merrill Lynch, and he had me transacting it. And the only reason I could really be the good administrator he wanted, because I'm in MyEcon learning this stuff, right? So I'm going, no. And we moved money over, and then he go pay cash for 2 vehicles. Then it was a brand new F-150 truck and a Ford Expedition. You know, I threw up my hands and I said, that's it. I've got to work these principles more. So then I started taking a look at our investments, and I started inquiring more instead of saying it's all Greek to us. I started taking my time. And I actually took 2 weeks of my life, shut down everything. I think I sat at my dining room table for 2 different weeks. I had my tax books, I had my MyEcon book, I had investments, I had everything. And for 2 weeks, Andre, I didn't do anything but sit at my table and study. Because I was determined that I was going to get this. I was determined. My hair looked a mess. Everything. I didn't dress up. My associates coming over. My home office. I really have an office in my home. They're coming. They're like, girl, are you on the house? I ain't got time to eat. I don't have time for nothing harder. Just to sleep. Because I am going to get this. And the more I got it, it's just the more that we started doing things and we started living in a better position. Okay. So that's, and eventually, like, I didn't even know as far as the million goes, everybody's making a big deal out of that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I just run the numbers and keep the stuff. And until Ivy began to ask us to report it. Right. And I go and I look and see, that's where the cash flow strategist helped us. Yeah. Because when you've gone through situations like, see, before all of that, we've been bankrupt. Okay. I've been almost divorced over money. You know, I almost lost my mind. Like, I got a real story. And I think money fits somewhere in there. You know, matter of fact, it helped cause some of the situation. Yeah. And I just knew that I was a desperate housewife. If my husband would go and do his career, what he was already in, although he still started college, he actually started in business, but he got captured, you know, with job in this career coaching. And then it was my duty to do what I needed to do to supplement his absence and continue to grow us to where we have created wealth for ourselves and for our children. And I just made the sacrifices and did it. I mean, everybody's not like me, but that's you know, that's how I did it. And that's our story. That's how we got to where we are now. And I thank God for it. Eventually, I think MyEcon has, I was able to replace that income. As a matter of fact, I got laid off. I was in 3 layoffs, and the third one finally got me. Right. But I walked out thanking God for it.
Right.
I dressed up to go get laid off.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So when they called me back in from a strike, I put on my business suit and I said, this is the way I'm going to be at home. And I appreciate y'all
Yeah.
because, by that time, God had already spoken. And I was just waiting on the relief so that I could come home full time and do the rest of whatever I needed to do. And that's what I've done ever since.
Wow.
Ever since.
Wow. That's amazing. Now you said that's amazing. It's the little things too that make it happen. And a lot of people don't think of. One of the things you said was that really hit me and it's been banging on my head now is you took the 2 weeks, to really sit down and study. So you studied the Personal Financial Success Manual. You studied some
Keep going. I hear you.
investment materials. Okay.
Yes, this is part of it.
Okay.
Before it was updated, I got every last one of them. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I studied that. You guys have a condensed manual. And of course, you've got videos now. We didn't have that.
Right.
So I still have a big binder and I don't throw it away because I've got so many notes. When we started learning about investments, we learned like amortization charts. We actually had to go in and calculate. Ivy taught us how to calculate our investments by amortization charts.
Okay.
Lump sum, periodical investments, that kind of stuff.
Right.
That's what we did. Everybody's complaining now with the software. They can't get it into the software.
Right.
We got it, by hand and a little calculator.
Right.
That's what we did.
Wow. So when it even comes to investments today, what are some things you recommend people do as far as understanding investments or studying?
Well, I think that I'm always going to take us back to MyEcon material,
right.
Okay? Because Ivy created a investment 101 program. You guys have a copy of that. He generally gives it out now at the conventions that we go to.
Okay.
But he has an investment 101, and that's what really got me started, was that he's the type of guy that used to say, I'm going to bring this here and I'm going to break bread with you, but you've got to go and get the rest of the story. He was a hard teacher.
Okay.
So that guideline and that outline for investment 101 was a matter of going to study. And so I began to study the 4 different types of investments, and I used other things like Investopedia, Investopedia.com online. It's absolutely remarkable.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, you can enroll in it and you can get daily updates. If you want to create wealth or create an investment portfolio, it's got very specific information that will help anybody who wants to start investing. And they have videos that even a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old can understand.
Okay.
But all the information that they have. And that's a lot of where I began to really understand that and be able to put together an investment portfolio for myself, because I was trying to get educated. And then we started taking a look. I'm going to tell you something. On my job, we had Putnam Investments.
Right.
And I would see the gentlemen who would come over and they would make money because they could move the money over at the time. You know how you move the money over, you make money when the shares go down and so forth.
Right.
And I would always see them making money. But it's because of that study with MyEcon that one time I was like, well, let me try it, because they're running around the office making money off of our retirement investment. And so I went in and did it, and I made $500. And that's what got me started, because I'm like, hey, I can do this.
Wow.
So I think initially what a person needs to do is make the first step.
Right.
If you go, you're not going to know everything about investing. I mean, just be honest. I'm 51 years old, and a lot of people have come in this business. You need to do something faster, or you need to just break away from some of the bondage mentality and stuff and the fear of doing this. Okay.
Right.
And it's a matter of studying. One of the things that I learned, and I learned this all from Ivy, was I could call them. Once I understood the factors of investing, like knowing how many years from now do I want to retire?
Right.
What is it that I want to do? You know, what kind of debt do I have? What kind of budget do I carry?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if can I give something extra towards an investment right now? You know, once you answer those questions for yourself and set that in there, you're pretty much ready to pick up the phone and call a company. Because the first thing I did was I called T. Rowe Price. Now, I'm not recommending T. Rowe Price. I can't do that. I'm just saying, it's one of the persons. I called and I was able to tell the operator what it was that I was looking for. Okay. And then I understood that, I didn't need to get 4% interest rate. Once I learned that 1, 4, 2, 3, 4% was not yielding me any type of money, I was able to share with them, okay, whatever we're about to talk about and get, it's got to be a high risk investment for me. So I used the terms that I was learning, I'm not no investment guru right now, but I know how to ask them for the product that I want. I was able to say, I want diversified funds, S&P, growth, you know, those kind of things, and have a good conversation with a representative, a broker, who could actually lead me to what it was that was going to be good for me. Right. So that's you know, that's how we do it. And then we set aside the money, of course, by increasing our cash flow and setting aside the right amount of money. Then we could put that money to work for us. And then we could say, let's invest this. And, you know, and then I learned things like dollar cost value, you know, what it is to invest on a monthly basis and making more money than it was to take a lump sum and make investments. So that's been, I think that's what a person needs to know. I say it like this, Andre. If we would take the cash flow strategist seriously and do serious homework to complete that strategist, you could take that strategist and talk to any broker and choose your investment portfolio. That's what I believe, because that's what we did. Right.
Yeah, I like that word serious. That's key. And most people don't take it serious. You know, don't take it serious. You also mentioned that you had to make some sacrifices along the way. And you also said, you know, some people didn't like that or what have you, but what sacrifice would you say you had to make along this journey, and which one stands out the most to you that you had to make?
Okay, well, let me say this. I'm a church girl. And I'm going to tell you, this one stands out the most to me because I'm a preacher. My husband is. And, you know, when you raised up in church all of your life, you spend probably about 80% of your time at church. You spend it in services somewhere, whether they're necessary or not. I almost make you feel like you're going to hell if you don't go. I'm going to tell you, my greatest sacrifice was to give up some of my church time. Because I began to, with the knowledge that we were being empowered with, and as I had to sit down and interview, where is it that we're losing time? I found that I was losing a lot of time that I could study, raise up a business, and become financially fit. I was losing time at the church. Now, did I turn away from God? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I just didn't have time for chicken suppers. You know, I didn't have time for extra programs that was only going to become social events. And, you know, in the church world, it can become expensive because if you go to church 3-4 times a week, depending on what denomination, they expect you to pay offering too. So I think the biggest downline happens at the church. Therefore, somebody at the top getting it all, and then me down on the bottom ain't getting nothing. Just stay at the altar. So my Lord, help me pay my light bill. And so my big advice was, if it was a choir that I didn't need to be in, then I got out of that choir. It was an usher meeting or whatever. I started saying, Lord, you know, which one that means most to you that I need to be involved in. And then the other time, I'm going to put it somewhere else that's going to be valued to being a good steward in my family and in my household, which is what I know you agree with. So that was, to me, that was one of the first sacrifices I did, believe it or not, that gave me the time I needed to learn how to be a business owner, to build a network. I mean, that's how I met you guys. You know, when everybody else is, and I do revivals now. I'm an evangelist, but when everybody else is, well, I'm not gonna get into that, but nonetheless, I get a chance to go to conventions, meet you guys, meet new people, new life, new mindset, because all of the right mindset is not there. It was not there. And so I was able to even increase my cash flow by saving some of the money, that manipulative stuff that you hear in the house of God, and, you know, and began to see the manipulation and when I should and when I shouldn't. That made a huge difference to me. It really did. Time was what I was looking for. And I think that's what we get when most people are involved in MyEcon or the wealth concept, is because we didn't have time to take care of ourselves. And I needed to find that time. And probably the next one, Andre, that I can remember, it's just making smart decisions on where we put our money. We had to make sacrifices on whether or not we could buy a brand new car or used vehicle. You know, stuff like that. We had to write goals for real and say, well, we're not concerned about being flashy. And my husband's really good about finding good cars. He's a mechanic too. And people say, are y'all running a car dealership? Like, no, we're just driving paid for cars. So to the point that I'm saving so I can pay cash for that Lexus when I'm ready to get it. So that's some of the biggest sacrifices.
Yeah. Okay, appreciate that. Three more questions. What would you say is, I know Ivy Stokes is the founder of MyEcon, and you have opportunity to really work close with him as well. What, out of the teachings and the information that you've learned here, what is some of the key words or phrases or things that stuck with you the most or helped you along this journey to building wealth? What is some things that you always fall back on, say, you know?
Well, there's two things, okay? I'm going to say this. I'm going to say one first concerning wealth. When Ivy was teaching us about wealth, he taught us a common sense definition of wealth. And that common sense definition was that wealth was not about things. Wealth was about you being able to cover your expenses in life, you know. And that was etched inside of my mind because people who see wealth in a different way, they mistreat people along the way. They'll do anything to get it. They will lose focus on where wealth is supposed to be, as far as helping people, loving people, helping your family, these kind of things, to God's intended purpose for wealth. And so hearing him just say that and then teach us that wealth is geographical, you know, where you are, you probably need more to create your wealth. Where I am, I don't need that much to be wealthy. It's because we're very resourceful. We're in the country. We got some of the greatest investment around us is natural resources, farming, and so forth. So I need to go at my wealth differently in this area. So that helped us along the way. And my husband invested in cows. So now we've got cattle. Okay. And looking at some more things to do. Then the next thing was leadership. Ivy was big on leadership. When he started the company, he said, I'm looking to build leaders. I'm thinking, okay. I mean, you know, leaders, that's all. But there's a lot that comes with mentoring people and leading people. There's a lot you have to learn, and there's a lot of you have to give up. And so that's what he began to tell us, is that love people where they are. So you know you have to learn that when you're in MyEcon. because you get people that enroll and they'll say crazy stuff to you. And then you make all the sacrifices to have meetings and phone calls and share information. And then they're talking crazy to you, right? So at first, I was very rough around the edges when it came to leadership.
Okay.
And he would come in and teach us, here's what you do when people are making excuses or people are sharing with you. Here's that one word that we always laugh about on my team. He said, tell them, I understand. And I was like, no, because I don't understand. They could be doing da-da-da-da-da like me, and they could be doing whatever. But I just said, I understand. So if you're ever saying anything that's really crazy to him, and then I began to understand what he understood. I understand. You're going to be right where you are. Keep making excuses. Keep being detached from mentorship, from leadership, from training, and keep your mentality where it is. We understand. You're going to be right where you are. Poverty-stricken, always living from paycheck to paycheck, and having a mentality that's going to keep you bound to the day you die. So we understand.
Wow.
That's it.
Right. Wow. That's heavy. That's real. That's true. And I think me and my wife, after we talked with Mr. Stokes a couple of times, we kind of gathered that he's a type of person that he allows you to, like you said, be who you are, where you at, because we just watching him and listening, and as he shared with us, and that's what we gather. So you're absolutely right. Yeah,
he understands. He will allow people to be indifferent to his knowledge. I've seen it happen. Down through the years, I've seen it in major conventions. You disagree with the millionaire, so he smiles and he understands. And I'm like, oh no, y'all! Anytime you hear him say that, he really messed up. Some people get proud. And I'm sitting here going, oh, Big Daddy, it's not his saying you're going the wrong direction. And if you see it, he'll go on and he'll go next and he'll go help somebody else until you get the point.
That's awesome. That's good. That's good. How important would you say, and I heard you mention a few things, and that's good because I wanted to touch on that a little bit too. How important is that? And that's my biggest thing that I like to harp on, is that I like that cash, asset, cash. How important is the business, the asset portion when it comes to building wealth and mindset? How important is that to you?
Well, it's number one. And if it becomes number one with all associates, they will begin to see, see a return, like they want to return, like they want to see it. It was important enough for me to not know anything. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. We have people that have been, we're used to jobs. We're used to the concept of going to school, getting a degree, making more bills to get that degree. We're used to thinking that we're somebody because we got a whole bunch of degrees. We're used to different philosophies in life that people have shared with us, shade tree philosophies. I make my money, I ought to spend my money kind of philosophies people come up with. We're used to people's mentality to, if they get an increase on their job, then they increase their debt. If you get $500 extra on your job, then now you go get the big car for and it's going to absorb the other $500 when that didn't make any sense. Because now that you think about it, you should take that extra and start paying off debt or investing. Okay. And so it's important enough that on the front end of cash, asset, cash to me is having my cash flow positive. When I really learned what we meant about positive cash flow, I understood how off people are when they brag about the amount of money that they make or their salaries working a job. People making $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year. If you mention negative cash flow to them, they'll almost shoot you because they're like, I don't have negative cash flow. I make money. But you do have negative cash flow if most of it is not coming home. Don't we say it's not about what you make, it's about what you keep?
Right.
So it's important enough for me to implement the income strategy to my money. If
Right.
I'm going to work a business part-time and I'm going to continue to work my job, right? Then I want that job to work for me with this concept. And so I want every penny that I can get, that I can save, I
Mm.
want it back. Okay.
Right.
So that I can create assets that create passive income for me and
Mm.
my children and my children's children. So
Mm-hmm.
that's very important that I get the front part in place. And I think that's where some people like to get the cart before the horse. You got working people with high salaries that will enroll, and they will say, well, really, all I want to do is get the financial education part. But what they're saying is, all I want to do is jump over. I'm going to tell you what a lot of them said to me, okay? That's what they meant, because I couldn't teach them nothing else. And so I was saying, I want to jump over here and make investment. And I'm saying, you need to jump over here at the beginning, just like your 2-year-old. Forget about what you've learned. Forget about what you think you have known from gurus you might have met, or people in suits, the people at the bank, the people that are fast talkers, the experts in life. Forget about all of that and then learn just like a child. I think it's just like the baby. Low and humble is the way. You know, it's like the Bible where low and humble is the way.
Right.
Low
Right.
and humble enough that if we give you a software, that you know the value of that software is about bringing that positive cash flow to you.
Right.
And then it's going to direct you to your investments, the assets that you're supposed to have. And that's going to continue as a cycle and create old money for you. And see, that's what I like. You know, I want to at least have, it might not be old money, but I'm creating things that when my children get here, although I didn't have old money, I want them to be able to have some old money to start off with.
Right.
It's very, I think get the front and you got the middle and you got the end covered.
Right. Right. So you want to have majority of your money coming home. Like you said, you want to be able to, like you said, what you make, and you want to be able to keep that money. You want to have it come home and not go back out. So if I'm making 6 figures, I want to bring 6 figures home, if not more. You know?
Don't be bragging. You know, you meet people to be bragging stuff. Well, you know, I make 6 figures. I be talking. Okay, I'm gonna act right. Okay, I'm gonna act right on the call. But but you know, people like that have that attitude.
Yeah.
You know, that pride. You know, I make 6 figures. Okay.
Right.
How much of 6 figures do you have today? Because if we take a look at an emergency fund or a vacation fund or your debt, it's probably being absorbed because you got 6-figure happy.
Right.
So I want to brag about my 6 figures when I actually got them.
Right.
You know, not just because they're on paper with somebody telling me when to wake up and when to get sick and when to go home and when to spend time with my family. You know, which brings us to another part of that asset cash about building business. And so I think that the MyEcon concept, it awakens you to have the courage you need to step out as a real business owner and move to the right side of the cash flow quadrant, where you're really now the business owner and the investor. That's, to me, is all a part of the asset cash. Because we got to get to the point to where we're only being taxed on the money that's left after our deductions. Right? And we're making money because we're creating leverage and residual income. And we've got multiple streams going on. Okay? So, I mean, I just caught that in 14 years. And I'm working hard.
Right. Now you got it. I'm learning it. That's, I have to go back and listen to this again. I love it. This is awesome. Okay. I think this is my last one. I think this is the last one for the most part. Appreciate this. Really appreciate it. It's very, very enlightening. And this is something people really, really need to hear. I posted something on my page a couple of days ago, probably last week, and I want your opinion on it. And the post said, would you take $2,500 a week for the rest of your life, or would you take $1 million cash up front? Which one would you take and why?
Okay. Wow, you tested me. $2,500 a week is going to be like the dollar cost value. in investing. You're going to make more by investing that $2,500 a week than you would taking a lump sum. So I think in the long run, $2,500 a week is going to yield more than the lump sum even, because that's what I would take. I would take the $2,500 a week instead of the lump sum. And because certainly if you don't know what to do with the lump sum, that's gone. That's gone, right? So I would like to take the $2,500 and be able to distribute it in diversified ways that was going to bring me more in the long run.
Wow.
That's my answer. That's why.
Good. I appreciate that. Awesome.
And I want to say this, and speak to the cash asset cash when I was saying that about awakening business ownership. Let me let you know, and it's certainly, I think some of us might make it easy. It's not easy, but being in MyEcon has taught me to take risks that my family never took. With masterminds, my parents were business owners, but did not see wealth, did not understand that, and what they had in their hands. With MyEcon, not only was I able to be ready for the layoff, have money before my unemployment started, and position myself and live out the rest of my dream, but in that dream, I've been able to realize how to structure it. I know we go outside and we get a lot of other material to bring in to what we're bringing to this. I didn't have all of that. I just had MyEcon, okay? Right. And the teaching was so valuable to teach me how to set goals, goal planning, goal setting, the PCP plan, and how to write the vision and make the vision plain. That what I'm doing right now, 14 years later, I actually wrote it when I started MyEcon 11 years ago. Wow. And they taught us how to structure this goal setting and goal planning and how to take it in by the timeline, set dates, reach those dates, reach those goals, pick up if you fail, pick up again, move it here, move there. All of that has got me where I am today. Last year, I've been working 20 years as a business owner, really. I was doing it before I got in MyEcon. Right. And Avon, I was a desktop publisher and photographer, but I didn't know what I was doing other than making money. Right. But when I started in MyEcon, it's like everything came alive. Everything just started to make sense. And so I wrote a vision that by the time my children would graduate from school, I would be able to go full time and build real business because I was self-employed. Right. So last year, I was able to move out of my house after all of those years, and I'm in this building that you see. I'm going to a whole nother level of business ownership, the one in which Ivy has been teaching us all along. Being able to leverage other people's time, talent, and labor, getting off of being self-employed, but using others' time, talent, and labor to continue to build my wealth. That's cash, asset, cash, right? Right. So this is going to my second year because it was January in 2016. Right. It's 2017. I picked up 4 employees. Wow. And then after this, I've started a nonprofit, and I quite understand, like, taxes don't scare me. They don't scare me. I will have a CPA in place, but I understand what the CPA is doing. Okay. Right. So that didn't scare me. So I'm raising up the nonprofit. And my final journey for me to lay back and relax is a franchise. But I'm taking it step by step, and it was written 11 years ago, and it's coming to pass. Yeah. So I just want to say, anybody who's watching, do not take this little online business, for granted. Right. Because what I am today, by the grace of God, is because of the foundation that MyEcon has laid. And I'm excited to see that you guys are in some of the works of the vision that Ivy laid down and shared with us when we started the company. Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. You're welcome. Yeah, that was awesome. We have to do this again. Get a part 2. All right. I'll be ready.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Well, definitely, Miss Pace, we appreciate your time and thanks for sharing. How are your are your children capturing this info? How are they
Okay.
walking in it? Are they how are they doing?
Well, they're skating. My
Uh,
children are spoiled because they didn't get a chance to realize all the bad
right,
times.
right,
They
okay.
don't really know. So, like for instance, they like think they rich, and I'm
Uh,
like trying to tell them this mine and daddy stuff. Y'all
right.
gotta get some on
Right.
your own. And, and so they're wavering and they're catching. My oldest daughter joined in the beginning. She was one of my first recruits at 18 years old.
Mm,
Now she's married. She's 33 years old.
mm,
And I noticed she's doing a remarkable job with her family as a wife. She is off the chain. And
yeah.
I'm going,
Yeah.
yes, I must have planted something.
That's
And
awesome.
given the chance, matter of fact, she's closing on a home. She's looking at things differently.
Hmm.
We look at other family members and stuff like that. They're not moving like that because we're not taught like that. But
Right.
I've been teaching her things that she needed to do to set in place to build wealth,
Right.
property, be a owner, be a homeowner, those kind of things. And so she is doing remarkably well with her husband, knowing how to fill out the W-4, knowing about her taxes. And she re-enrolled with me during October.
Right.
And
Okay.
actually, she can teach every part of the concept. Her
Right.
husband is a mastermind. And they're going to do wonderful.
Yeah.
They're going to do wonderful because she's already trained to do what's necessary.
Yeah.
My other three children are in college.
Right.
So you've got one that's high-minded, but
Uh-huh.
they're all in business with me.
Oh,
Okay. So
right.
I
That's
just
good.
got to train one of them who's a little high-minded.
Right.
But
Right.
I've told him that he's got to work harder at building his wealth because of his desire.
Uh-huh.
So, but
Gotcha.
but but to know this information,
Yeah.
my baby sat down with me from the holiday and said, as I was teaching them, I got the younger MyEconers. My youngest MyEconer is 17 years old.
Okay.
And I pulled them together, and they're the Young Millionaire Club. Okay.
Nice.
And so we're kind of going backwards and teaching them because they don't have the same thing to deal with as we do. I'm
Right.
teaching the concept, but I'm teaching them the investment so they can see what they should have in the future by the time they are graduated college.
Wow.
And so they're getting it. One of my kids was talking about, oh, now he seemed like he should have already had it.
Uh-huh.
But, I don't want to owe any student loans, so I got to do this, and that. I'm like, duh,
Right.
but they're getting it. Slowly
Right.
but surely, I think the boys are slower than my girls, in all
Yeah.
honesty. But
Yeah.
then that's probably just the way nature is, because it takes
Yes.
y'all a little to develop.
It's true. It's true. It is
But
true.
they're up and coming millionaires, and they're going to be forces to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to them helping me teach more and sharing more of their generation what they should be doing.
Awesome. 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 And what's the youngest you can join MyEcon? 7, 8?
I thought it was 18, but when I checked on during the promotion, it was 17. He was okay. He could join.
Okay, cool.
And
I
so
never knew that. I was wanting to know. Okay. I never knew.
it's
Okay.
17. He has a job. He can take care of his fees, and it's just like him. The work age started at 16. If they get permission, they can go into the workforce. Well,
Right.
certainly, if they're 17, they can become business owners with our company.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Thank you. I was want to know that. Appreciate that. Okay, Ms. Pace, we're going to let you go. We can
All
ask
righty.
questions for days, but we'll have to do this again. I really appreciate it. And thanks again. And we'll be sharing this
All
with
right.
you in the future.
All right.
All right. So you have a good one. And we'll see you
Okay.
in June. We'll see you in
All
June.
righty.
All right.
I'll be there.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.